Hi guys, Lynn here, and back for some more Arma 3 ZEUS. Now, when you're making ZEUS missions, a really popular one, or one that can be good to try, is stuff with civilians. But there's a problem with civilians in that they tend to just run around or run away. In fact, sometimes when you place a civilian down, they will end up kilometers away after they've been running away for the entire mission. They often will stand around, but as soon as fire starts to come in, they will freak out and just run away. So what can you do to counter this? Well, if you wanted to make a kind of hostage mission, as it was, what you're going to want to do is create a compound for those hostages. So this is pretty easy to do. You can go to the default, go down to other for your objects and structures, go to structures, go to fences, and then you want to choose something like a razor fence. And this is just a wired fence, and we can just really quickly build this. It doesn't really have to specifically be facing any one direction. The reason that the razor fences are pretty good is that they are destroyable by, say, a tank bumping into them or something. So it can be a very easy way of getting your guys out of there afterwards. I'll demonstrate this. So we'll create like a little compound here, but one thing you do want to do is try and maybe make it big enough so that when it has to be knocked down later, it doesn't kill everybody inside. So let's just put this in. Right, so there we go. So there is our compound. I'm going to put some civilians in there. So we'll just put a couple of these guys in here. Okay. Now, they are there and they're active, they're ready. So we can put down now maybe a vehicle. Now the vehicle could have come in here and it will get to it, but just to save some time, I'll just put it in like here. Let's just choose a bobcat or something. Could be under support. And that thing would have been able to kind of drive down here basically, and I'll just show you. The little shortcut remote control is not working for me today, so I'm going to do it this way around. Okay, so driving in on this thing. So I need to knock this thing down carefully. Now the trouble is it going to hurt? Okay, here we are, and see, this is what I'm talking about. Civilians generally freak out and start to run away. There we go, and our civilians are free. And look, that guy's legging it like it's going crazy. And that guy is already well away. But how do we stop them from just randomly running away? Let's get rid of this. So at this point, the civilians would essentially be free, and if you were doing a mission, you would complete it. This guy is going for a champion run, but this perfectly highlights what I'm talking about. This guy has just randomly started to run away. So how can you stop that from happening? And that will happen as well often when they are, say, under fire or something like this. How do we get around this? Well, instead of having to build that compound and make it all look, to be honest, a little bit clunky, you could assume that maybe they are just being told to stay in a certain place. So we could, for example, use this little hut. Now, what we can do, that's, you know, we can only do that if you're doing the compound stuff. That's all you can do using default ZEUS. But if you have the ARES mod, which I link below and I tend to use a lot now, with ARES you can set up surrender for these guys. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of civilians in here again. I'll just put 2. And then these guys could in essence be captured by the enemy. So what I'm going to do now is going to go to my AI behaviors under ARES, and I'm going to choose surrender unit. When I click on him, it will say unit surrendered, and he will hold his hands up. So these guys have now both surrendered. So now if a vehicle were to come by, or if there was some AI around, and you know, you could now set up your mission. You could just go infantry, you could just set up a couple of squads around the place, maybe put one in the building, etc. You know, that's your defended compound. And obviously you could make it as extravagant as you want to, put loads of, you know, reinforcements in, mines, traps, whatever. Make it a really tricky mission so that the guys have got to actually get in here, put units on the roof, etc. Whatever it is you want to do. But the key is that if I go to control one of these units now, let's just take this guy. So now if I start to sort of fire, I took a flinch, even though that guy took a flinch to the leg, they won't react. They won't. I think these guys are freaking out. They won't react. They won't freak out, which a lot of AI generally would do. But you can still kill them, but they won't react. This guy is cool as a cucumber. So that basically enables you to have a proper hostage Zeus mission. You can put these guys in a defended compound. You can put them wherever you want to. I think that was my grenade going off in a very long delay. You can put these guys wherever you want to, and they will just stand still. You could also do it with NATO units. So if you wanted to do like a helicopter down mission, for example, you could do that very easily. So let's just get... And okay, one last thing to show before I do the last bit. Then let's say you've killed all the AI and you want these guys to be released. Well, you just go back to this, you go surrender again. You click on him again, it brings up this, and you go release unit. And he will now freak out and run away. He's like, God, let me out. Open the door, but goes out the other door. Okay. Off he goes. He's freaking out because he's been shot at. So that shows how you can then release units once your mission is completed and the NATO guys have got eyes on them. Let's say you wanted to do a different style mission, like like a Black Hawk Down style mission. Well, you might have your destroyed helicopter in there. So again, let's put something in there. You could have like the Rex here. So we've got various different Rex, MI-48s, C-192 even. Got all different kinds of a Blackfoot Rex. So you could put like your... Look, there is your crashed Blackfoot. You could even put in things like a smoke pillar, etc. if you wanted to. So the Black Hawk, Blackfoot even, is down. It's got like the little malfunctioning sounds. So they could have to maybe locate the Blackfoot and destroy it. So maybe they've got to put explosives on it. And then when you want to destroy it afterwards, you can just do that. End, so it goes all blackened once the explosion's gone off. And then maybe they've got some NATO guys in here that needs to be surrendered. Now the difficulty with this is not having the AI kill them first. There's a way to get around this is don't put the AI in until they've surrendered. So if you're building your mission, what I'm going to want to do is maybe take this guy and I'm going to go to, let's go men. Gee, where's pilot? Well, it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's just choose a standard soldier. So I'm going to put him in. So maybe he's being held up here. And then I can select surrender again. So he will stand there surrendered. Now there is something else you can do, but I don't believe I can change this state afterwards. But again, let's just put the AI back in. And so you'll see that the AI will not... I think if I can send this guy upstairs... Oh, he's going to go up here. Okay, so I've garrisoned them in this building, but you can see they don't really care about that guy being there. And then, of course, you can release the unit afterwards again. So then you see he becomes a blue 4 state. And once he's released, so you've got to be careful because they will engage. Although because I've Zeus garrisoned them, let's ungarrison unit. Release them from garrison. So you see, you can make them live again. They will eliminate that unit. But another state, the last state, is basically you can have a unit like this, and you can tell him to surrender. And he'll surrender. Notice as well that they do become civilian. That's why the enemy don't target them at this time. But you can also surrender, and then you can secure unit. If you secure the unit, they will basically sit down like that. But I don't believe that you can... See, it says unit has already been secured. You can't ungarrison. I don't believe... There might be a way to do it, but I don't think you can adjust that secure state. So when they're secured, they just kind of sit down and stay there. So that could be like the end of your mission, or maybe there's an officer you have to secure or something like this. But you can still control them. So, for example, if you wanted to secure a unit, you could actually control it yourself. So say perhaps the objective was to secure a unit until you maybe take it back to base. Maybe there's an enemy agent, an enemy officer you've got to capture, so you could secure him, and then maybe the mission is that the human players have to bring that guy back to base, so you could secure him on the ground so they're waiting for like transport or something, and then you could take over and actually sort of get him onto the helicopter or whatever until they get back to base and mission's complete. So that's a couple of different ways in which you can do sort of surrendering and hostage situations, and then build it around that. But this is an important one to know because the standard hostage things are very limited, and with the ARES mod you can do a range of different hostage situations, stuff which, to be honest, is much more workable and much more interesting for the players on the ground. So I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Drop your thoughts below about ZEUS and Arma 3, the kind of missions you can make with it, and if you enjoyed it, drop a rating for me. Always really appreciate it. I'll see you next time for some more Arma 3 ZEUS action.